Now, Sports Talk with Broads. Here's Hunter Brody.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome on into Sports Talk with Broads. This does not get old. 9 straight victories. They win 4-0. They shut out the Arizona Diamondbacks. They score early. Nick Castellanos is helping out late with an RBI where he's check swinging just like Didi Gregorius did the other night. Bryce Harper's hustling his ass around the bases, and it's just beautiful. When you need someone to come up large because Familia stinks, here's Bellotti. Here's Brad Hand in the 8th. Christopher Sanchez in the 9th. It got dicey. It got hairy. I'm even hearing Rob Thompson after the game give us a little bit of a weird description on what went down with Corey Knebel, who's going to get more testing done tomorrow because there was some discomfort in the shoulder. So we will get more information, hopefully, as time progresses here. They're scoring early with Rhys Hoskins getting a double, with Nick Castellanos driving him in, and then Bryson Stott, lefty bomb off of Madison Bumgarner. It's a lot easier to play from the lead, right? When you see early on, when you're Zack Wheeler, not that Zack Wheeler needs it, because realistically, he could somehow win a baseball game 0-0. That's how dominant he is. He could take the bump, he could take the ball, and win a damn baseball game 0-0. That is how special Zack Wheeler is. But just think about the added bonus and the added extra pressure that is off of you when you're up 1-0, when you're up 3-0. And it's like, yeah, okay, this team. And by the way, when Bellotti's on the mound after the Familia disaster, you're talking about the Diamondbacks going to a pinch hitter in Marte, who is one of their better players. That was a huge, crucial out to get when it talks about a high leverage moment. Now, there were some other opportunities for the Phillies to score more runs. JT Realmuto got rung up on a pitch that I thought was outside. And you want to talk about the blue behind the dish? There was a lot of frustrating moments for both teams. Hell, Bryce Harper in the beginning, the first inning, is out there disgusted and absolutely losing his mind because the 2 pitches that he thought were off the plate. I'd say one of them was off the plate. The second one that he was disappointed about definitely, in my eyes, touched that high outside corner. So it was close. He was aggravated, screaming. When he went into the dugout, dropping F-bombs nonstop. And, I heard the broadcast talk about this, John Kruk. Someone better calm him down, cool him down, so he doesn't end up getting thrown out. If you have that much of soft skin as a Blue, where when Bryce Harper gives it to you in the first inning, you feel so powerful to just kick his ass out of the game. To be fair, watching baseball and watching how some of these umpires do handle situations because they are losers, I guess it has to be on the table. But from a fan perspective, if I'm watching that game and I see in the first inning the umpire take off his mask and give Bryce Harper one of these and points out to the stands, I probably would have gave it a good old 1-2 punch through my TV screen, because that would have been a damn embarrassment. I never thought in a billion years that would actually go down until someone said, hey, maybe Bryce Harper needs to be cooled down by somebody. Well, who's going to kick him out? It's Bryce Harper. Let him rip you. Let him get out all that frustration, and then you move on. But I thought that there were some wonky calls all throughout. Welcome to professional sports, I guess. Brad Hand in the 8th got lucky on a curveball that changed the count from 2-1 to 1-2, which clearly goes to the advantage of the Phillies. And then what was the other one that I'm thinking of? Oh, well, I mentioned the JT Realmuto one, of course. But yeah, look, this team is finding ways to win where a lot of players are stepping up. The bullpen, Familia, bad. Christopher Sanchez, weird situation. When they tack on that 4th run, it kind of changes the idea. But knowing that you had Corey Knebel have that problem physically, like the fact that, hey, Christopher Sanchez, here you go, kid. Hey, have at it. Big spot. Go do your job. He did. Alec Boehm makes a great defensive play. He goes to his left. He throws it to second base there, gets the lead runner. That's 2 games now where he's come up large, whether it's running into foul territory and making a play where there's barely any room and the ball is going over the dugout. He reaches over by the netting. He makes the grab. So that happened in the previous game. Now you're seeing this. I am going to admit that his offensive production is concerning. And I'm one of the harder guys on Alec Boehm. I'll also admit that I probably don't give him as much credit as he deserves. And I'm willing to admit that, all right? I understand that I play that line with him. He's dipped down to 246 on the season. It ain't good. But whenever I rip him or whenever I say something negative about him, he does something mind-blowing, like take Josh Hader yard to help this baseball team win a game that they realistically stole on the road in Milwaukee. One that they don't really deserve to win, but holy hell, the Milwaukee Brewers are left in awe because, excuse me, the guy who doesn't allow a run just got nuked by him and Matt Vierling. How about Matt Vierling playing second base today? Making plays. First inning, ground ball comes his way. Bang, gets to third out. Made a couple nice plays, 5 or 6 plays or so over at second. Now, I wonder, because the reason they gave us was giving Didi a little bit of an off day, knowing they tried to slither through the Corey Knebel question the way that they did, and that's not just a Phillies problem. That's what majority of Major League Baseball does and players do throughout professional sports in general. Is there something to Didi? Now, I get it. Madison Bumgarner, you got lefty. So with Didi Gregorius and his splits, lefty, you want to try and squeeze a Matt Vierling in there because of the damage that he did do against Milwaukee. And let's see if you can build his confidence, which is the common theme here of the Rob Thompson era, is when you do things good, let's keep giving you maximum opportunities to build off of that excitement and build off of that good play. But I don't know. Didi's going the other way. He's utilizing all of the field. I find it weird, that's all. And then I'll give you the splits for Didi Gregorius real quickly here as we take a look at, I like Baseball Reference more than any other pages. Some of these pages can get a little weird. If you go to his splits in 2022 this year, is it fair to go 2022 with a more limited sample size? 235 against left-handed pitching, but he's only had 17 at-bats. 339 against right-handed pitching. Not that I think a bigger sample size is going to tell us anything much different. I think it's pretty well known that, Didi Gregorius against right-handers compared to left-handers is night and day. But I'll go to his career just to give you a little bit more numbers and a little bit more perspective on it. He hits 241 against left-handers, 267 against righties. So in his entire career, it's not like he can't do anything. It's not like he's an absolute atrocious against left-handed hitters. It's just, I don't know. I guess sometimes things smell a little funky and things smell a little bit weird to me, fishy, when certain decisions are made. Matt Vierling playing second base when he doesn't really have the track record of doing so, instead of playing a Didi Gregorius with a Bryson Stott when Didi's hitting 316 and playing really good baseball right now. I don't know, just something is a little bit off for me, but only time will tell, and maybe I am overthinking it. Maybe I am going a little bit too deep. We'll find out when we see what happens as this continues. But look, I don't even think I gave Bryson Stott yet enough real love other than just mentioning the fact that he hit another home run, his 4th of the season. And this power is electric. You get a pitch, that's right there. Meatball, here you go, it's flat. I guess meatball goes more towards, maybe like a fastball over the heart of the plate. So maybe I'm utilizing the wrong word to describe it, unless I'm being too picky on the analyzation. Maybe we'll Google that too. Is it just strictly meatball baseball? What do you think pops up when I Google meatball baseball? Okay, it doesn't specifically have to be the fastball. I always use that term with a fastball more than anything else, so my brain just automatically puts that into my head. So, all right, we're still good with the meatball hanging there for a Bryson Stott to deliver it over that right field wall, and it was just a beautiful watch. And the way that this kid's playing right now, it's phenomenal. It's fantastic, and he's driving the baseball beautifully. I love it, man. There's nothing sweeter than actually seeing a prospect pan out in front of our eyes night to night. And, he was super close to not being here. He was super close to being sent down. He was super close to getting his at-bats in AAA to try and get his confidence back. It is wild, the common phrases that we are hearing from Nick Castellanos after the game. And we're hearing from every single player with the loose ability to play the game right now due to the way the manager is handling things. Now, going back to Bryce, I know I'm jumping around a little bit. This is somewhat going to be a quick hitter anyway because of the 1 o'clock game that's tomorrow. And it's a Saturday night where I got something I got to do, and the stupid mouse is pissing me off as I see the phone lines kind of lighten up a little bit. The way Bryce Harper plays this game, I'm not breaking any news. That fire in the first inning, though, it's so lethal. It's so... I'm trying to think of the right word here. It bleeds into the rest of the team. The way he's losing his mind, the way he's screaming, the way that he's just letting his rage go and freaking out. And I think if you're a young kid on that team and you see Bryce Harper do that, it doesn't just bring everything up. It brings the urgency up. It brings the focus level up. It's like, damn, did you see Bryce? Maybe goosebumps. You get the chills because it's Bryce Harper doing it. That's the first inning of the game. It changes the dial. The tuning in just reaches a new level. And then they go out and shut out the Diamondbacks. There were a lot of innings there late where just getting a run across the board for Arizona, it could happen. Bases loaded, 2 outs, you go to Bellotti. How about Rob actually getting Familia off the damn mound after that mess? And it is interesting to me that last game he was willing to give Kyle Gibson the 7th at 6 innings. The 6th inning got a little bit trafficky. A walk, a single, guys were on base. He worked out of the jam. He was low 90 with the pitch count. Gave him the 7th. Zack Wheeler, 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, barely being touched at all, not heavy contact at all, 98 pitches, that was the line. Now, I don't remember exactly what Gibson was at. Maybe it was 91, maybe it was 92, it was in that range. 6 pitches was the difference in him allowing Gibson to go the 7th and Wheeler to not go the 7th. Is there a reason? The paternity leave, where he's at feeling with his body, or did he learn from what happened? Here's my problem, though, if that's the case. Well, it didn't work with Gibson. Why would it work with a Zack Wheeler? Okay, do you see the difference in Zack Wheeler, with all due respect to Kyle Gibson, what Zack Wheeler was doing out there? Working those off-speed pitches in, having everybody confused and dazed at the dish. Now, I'm fine with not putting him in at 98 pitches. I understand. I'm just looking at the two, and I'm trying to find the balance here. I'm trying to figure it out. Once again, I dissect heavily, all right? Sometimes I go to a deeper level than I need to go to, and maybe that's what I'm doing right now. I fully acknowledge it. I'm just trying to figure out, what is the thought? What are they learning? What are they doing? What did they learn? What are they processing? I did find it interesting, though. Wheeler, after the game, was asked about, were you checking in? Were you doing things? He goes, no, not really. I just checked the box score. I know he had a baby, and when you have a baby, there's a lot going on in your life. And maybe this just is, you're a professional, you've been around the block, you separate your baseball life with your family life. I'm not telling him that he's got to watch every single pitch. I'm saying from my eyeballs and the way that I feel I would be in that moment. Not everybody's the same. I'm sure if you ask a bunch of people during their paternity leaves, 50% of the people will probably still be invested with their team, and 50% of the other people will somehow block it out. I know for me, I would probably have a hard time knowing my team was on this type of ride, knowing my team was winning this many baseball games, to go, I'll just check the box score late at night. I'm not saying there's a right way or a wrong way. I'm just telling you how I would probably handle it. I'd have the game on somehow. I'd have my AirPods in just to check it out to see what was going on. You're doing great, hon. You're doing great, babe. Keep pushing. Strike 3! Let's go! 8 straight! You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's all. 6 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts. Phenomenal. All right, 856-442-9805. I think I basically kind of gave you my thoughts on it in general. I'll take a couple phone calls if you would like to call in, but I'm going to try and keep this one a little bit short and not go too crazy here. So we'll bring in our first call. Welcome on into the show, man. How are you doing?
Bro, it feels like I'm in a fucking twilight zone.
Well, I mean, it's win after win after win after win. It's like every single day, it's the same thing, winning baseball. So to a degree, it's kind of where we're at.
It's like I'm back and I'm 11 years old and the Phils are on and they're winning 100 games. And I'm not going to say that they're going to win 100 games this year or something, but holy shit, this team is like night and day.
It is. It's Saturday, 4:35, and I understand the weather was a little bit of a disappointing weather day, so maybe a lot of people did just sit on the couch and embrace one of those lazy Saturday efforts, if you will. But I'll tell you what, there is nothing right now like seeing all Phillies fans when the game is on, expressing their emotions and going crazy when Bryson Stott hits the homer and going nuts when Bryce Harper scores after that Nick Castellanos crazy check swing that goes down the right field line.
Yet another check swing double.
I know.
Back, what's that, 2 and 3 nights?
Yeah,
right
it just doesn't make any sense. When things are good, things are good. And this team, not only are they grinding situations to win that battle with the bullpen or, look, there's runners left in scoring position, but they still do enough surrounding that one inning where they don't tack on an extra run. They still doing all these things, but they're getting this crazy baseball luck too, which, of course, you'll take any day of the week. Sometimes you don't take advantage of that baseball luck. Well, the Phillies are right now, and it's a huge piece to the puzzle.
It also helps that we got these wins right now, and it's keeping us close with those Braves there because what are they, won 10 in a row themselves? So I mean,
they're rolling.
Whatever keeps us on pace for whatever. Just let's make the playoffs. That's my hope.
Of course.
Let's make the playoffs and let's have another Red October.
Let's see it, baby. Let's see another Red October. You're damn right. Joseph says in the chat here, the lineup is good enough to carry them to the playoffs. They still need bullpen help, of course. They need better defense. Well, their defense kind of is what it is, right? I mean, you're not just going to magically snap your fingers and have this unbelievable defense. Camargo being back, but the thing is, the way Stott's playing, that's a spot that's solidified. In my opinion, the way Didi Gregorius is playing, that realistically should be a bat that you're relying on way more than anybody else, although Gene Segura is in there too. So it could be Stott Segura, it could be Stott Didi. Where does Camargo fit when that's the case? And that would be someone who is a big-time help on the defensive end. Your defense is what it is. But there were a few games there during the ugly stretches where Nick Castellanos in right field heavily destroyed you. You're seeing now that that's not necessarily the case. There are going to be times where it pops up where Schwarber's arm's a problem or Nick Castellanos' arm is a problem, but it seemed like it was happening in such a big bunch of 5 games in a row, 6 games in a row. That's somewhat of the outlier. It'll peek its head in there, but as you alluded to, this offense can do so much damage that those things that are going to happen with the defense will not be as much of an issue when you are scoring 5 runs, when you're scoring 6 runs. And then you know what? If it does go down where there is a horrible fielding play or someone reads the ball the wrong way, you're going to get a big timeout from Brad Hand. You're going to get a big timeout from Bellotti. Your starting pitcher will have a sinker that ends up grounding out to second base. Now you're turning 2. Where before, nobody felt that bond. No one had that relationship with one another. Now it's, I got you, bro. Now it's, I got you, bro. Won't happen every play, but I'm saying when you play the longevity of it all. Let's hear from Amadeo. How you doing, Amadeo?
Phillies are never going to lose again. They're never going to lose another game. They're 9 straight. They're going to keep winning. Come on, keep rolling it out till the end of the season. They're going to win the rest. How many more games are left? Probably too many, but they're going to win all of them.
It feels that way. It's hard to deny it at this point. And look, I've always said about the manager, it's not going to change anything because the players need to play better, and the players are playing better. But this is almost making me think, Is there more to it? Did I not give the manager enough credit throughout the last couple of years or the last couple of tenures maybe, when talking about why it went so south, why Gabe Kapler was such a problem with some of these guys connecting with Carlos Santana and Rhys Hoskins, and there were the struggles with Rhys Hoskins up at the dish, and the way that it has fully switched to 180 just based off of connecting with the rest of the crew. And I had a debate. I said, look, it's a new era of baseball. These guys don't really care for the team. They care about money and contracts and $330 million, and it's a totally different lifestyle in pro sports, but maybe there's more to it that I didn't give them enough credit about.
Yeah, and it's specifically when you were mentioning that as well for what Nick Castellanos brought up post-game when he was talking about Dave Dombrowski in the early years in Detroit. He just let him go through the motions in his first 2 seasons in the big leagues. That's basically what Rob Thompson's doing right now. He's giving guys like Bryson Stott all the chance in the world to succeed, and Bryson Stott is taking full advantage of it. Granted, yeah, there's a lot of injuries on the roster, but it's good to see Bryson Stott take advantage of all these situations. It's night and day with the way he's looked in the first 2 months of this year.
Yeah, he's answering the bell. And another name, because I'm seeing this in the chat right now, well, what about Mickey Moniak? It's Mickey Moniak's fault that he's striking out all the time, right? Like, one guy is doing it, the other guy is not, and then therefore Odubel Herrera, who is doing it, is taking his job. You got to play that fine line. Of course, the young kids, we want them to play. We want the young kids to do their thing. You got to actually do it, too, though. Stott's hitting homers, right? Stott's hit 4 homers already. Stott's helping this team by knocking in runs. Mickey Moniak is not making contact. Mickey Moniak is striking out, while Odubel Herrera is hitting second-deck bombs. So it's a little bit more of an uphill battle for him. Maybe when Odubel cools off, he'll have more of a leash. But as for now, it's who's producing more to help us continue this run. All right, with that, we'll shut it down here. There's a 1 o'clock game tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we'll discuss what happens. We'll see if it's another sweep or if it's just another series win. Just another, as I say that, as if it's so disappointing based off of the run that they've been on. Thank you guys all so much for hanging out with me. Hit the subscribe button. Utilize the SeatGeek promo code BROADS for $20 off of your purchase to buy tickets, which is a no-brainer. And then TikTok at Broads Media. Check it out. Thank you guys all so much. I'll see you tomorrow.